Well, hello everyone. You're here to show you a piece of a dream coloring right here. As you see right here, is I went ahead and drew a cement truck, and then right here, as you see right here, is a truck that a toy truck that I went ahead and say added in the activity right here is talking about is like if most of us the thing about is like with if we were to have a toy truck or a car or anything like that, is to know about if we were to ever want to own a drivable truck it is, or maybe be a homeowner, stuff like that, is knowing about a lot of the things that you thought about whenever you were a kid, that knowing about that you like to have like to own one of these one of these four-wheelers or anything like that, or maybe four-wheel drive trucks it is, and then knowing about really that where does the dream start, knowing about it's like picture in your mind about you got the truck right here, and of course we'd say between a toy truck and then it's like if you were to draw a truck, it's like such as cement trucks, of course, is that knowing about is like putting the pieces together. Of course, some of them may be out stable it is, but on the other hand too, and knowing about is if you want to start with one color, it is it's like start out with the green, is to go ahead and add a little bit of a color green right here for the truck, and what most of us would probably think about is that yeah, if you think about thinking about our future, about what you wanted to do, and then of course we ought to know is about the things about with little kids, and knowing about the things that with an activity for for kids for all ages, for what they can do and stuff so far as coloring goes. It's like if you want to do like an activity where you can do say your own stickers, and of course it's like you're doing your own activity, but so far as knowing about the amount of cement, it's a concrete, it's like hard as cement that comes out of say the cement truck it is, and then knowing about that you got right here's the rocks and then the layers of concrete that are coming out, and more likely you probably think about is that about how much per hour it is that knowing about how many gallons it is, if it goes by the gallons or something like that of say of concrete it is, knowing it's like the the build a road. But on the other hand too, you got this character right here, and of course just go ahead and color it a little bit so you got that little pink right here, say for the eyebrows, but anyway, knowing about the fact about between aunts and uncles and along with cousins and stuff like that, something just like for the whole family to enjoy it is knowing about the piece of the dream, is knowing about an activity that we can all think about. It's like we all want to spend time with, knowing about a lot of times going in the toy aisle that I see that between the boys stuff and then the girls stuff, it's like the Barbie dolls and stuff like that, but talking about is like with the piece of the dream is that whenever things that you think that kids of all ages would be able to enjoy, and a lot of times you probably think about that really it's really Disney movies that more likely Disney stuffed animals or Disney movies is more likely is what the kids would probably get for enjoyment it is. But knowing about it's like what this activity right here is talking about with piece of the dream is talking about an activity that more likely would only take about maybe a half an hour, if that, just to get a good start, and of course, just to add some details in there, as you have right here is the character, and if you want to add a little bit of pink on top of that, add some pink right there. It's like if you want to make it look, say, like it's 3D or anything like that. I know with me that I usually look at it as it's like a character. It's like the darken and the darken the sides, and of course that's like with the cement truck right here. You got right here is for the driver's side, and then of course that if you maybe want to add some more details, like you start out with the outlines right here, and if I want to maybe draw like a I don't know what, maybe a spare tire, put a spare tire down here. So you say draw a spare tire about right here. You got you say knowing about it, kind of looks like a block, huh? But anyway, you got right here is like for a spare tire, and then I go ahead and draw the inside, and then you have right here with the spare tire is go ahead and use is the orange outline. I go ahead and outline it for with a little orange. With the spare tire to be changed, and of course knowing about it's like with the tire go if it were to go flat, it is. But what are you going to get with the flat tire, huh? But other than that, you have right here is the flat tire, and then of course color it in a little bit more with a little blue. But really, the types of tools that's the types of tools for for the activity it is for so far as laying the concrete it is. But other than that, with the black, and then you say we got the layer of concrete right there. But knowing about how many pieces there would be is like you put together a dream like this. Knowing about if it's stickers or if say cement truck, and along with the kids of all ages, is knowing about between the orange and then the blue. It is orange and then the blue is the habit to where habit to where the kids be playing maybe in the sandbox or anything like that. You have it to put your shoes and socks on, and then before you say go outside, it's like if you go play out in the sandbox or anything like that. I know that's one thing that I used to do with my siblings. It is that they go out and play in the sandbox, and then of course it's like do other activities. It is, but talk about was toys that more like you think about you sharing. I remember whenever I was in school, a lot of times that knowing about sharing. It's like between school and home that if you were to get something, the more likely that the parents or whoever the teachers would ask you. It's like you don't mind sharing with this person, do you? But a lot of times, I guess, and I could maybe be honest that. A lot of times that if it's my crayons or my tools or anything like that a lot of kids more likely don't want to share everything. They may have to share some things, others, but they may not want to share everything, including maybe the TV, or maybe say knowing about it's like the memories, or like knowing about about between 5 and you say 5 times 5 or 5 times 7 or anything like that. Knowing about that, it's like you would have to share. You guys share at the table or share an ice cream or anything like that. But knowing about it's like what you got was like with the truck, that the details right here that I went ahead and put in with the truck is that knowing about it's like you have the layer of cement that comes out right here, for a layer of concrete, say of cement that whenever it gets hard, it's pronounced as concrete or something like that. But anyway, really that whenever I was in math class, I remember that there was like a math problem that's called, say, a concrete. But you have right here is a spare tire. But other than that, knowing about really that if you really want to share some things, or maybe share a few things, is knowing about that that really somebody'd say that, well, you have to share. I'm like, nah, I'm afraid they won't give it back, or I'm afraid they'll break it or something like that. But other than that, knowing about that, I don't really have to share anything now. But on the other hand, too, that one of these days I may have to share something and let somebody else use it that they want to play with it, whatever it is. But knowing about the fact about the detail right here, I went and put for this character is knowing about that. It's like share your thoughts or activities. It's like so far as the piece of the dream it is. Knowing it's like what's on your mind. But other than that, I would suggest if you got something on your mind and it's like trying to figure out how to solve it, is knowing about that. If you come from this detail right here, but then of course if you can take some time and knowing about say draw a square, and then with that square, knowing about what the square does. It's like if it moves to the left, and then maybe add some details onto it from that. It's like knowing about the subject, talking about if it's vehicles or if it's homes or anything like that. And so if I was talking about it's the calculation, knowing about it's like between 4 feet, say 5 feet of concrete. It is knowing about study about how it's made. Really, it's like our parents teach us something. One of those something is knowing about the things about it's like showing good talents is is to tell to at least share with everybody, to make good choices and to share with everybody about what you can do. But really, if that's really what it's all about, is what we can do, or it's like what we can show. But maybe a little bit of both, huh? But other than that, is talk about is like what does a piece of a dream mean? Talking about is like spending time with the family is knowing about about what of course about it's like so far is what you call is the treasury. But other than that, is like knowing about what I usually say is that anything that is done by you or us is what you call is like considered treasure. Anything that is done by you is to say considered treasure so far as piece of the dream.